You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's presentation of the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series, brought to you by Topsail Trucking. Having a little bit of an issue with my overlay here, so please bear with me while I try to get that figured out. I'll continue on here, but these guys are just getting finished up qualifying here, so you're not missing anything just yet. Just stay tuned, having some technical difficulties here. As I said, I do apologize. I'm trying to get these things figured out. The overlay, our SDK timing program here is not playing well with us tonight. Having some issues on another broadcast across the board here for Sim Racing Media as well. We won't let that slow down the action. Well, we might if we can't get this out of the way. We'll have to just drop the overlay, which won't be great for the show, but we will press on. We'll see what we can get done here. I will go ahead and try to reset some things while we are high up in the blimp. These guys, like I said, they're just finishing up qualifying. So go ahead and stand by here. We'll Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're having some big time difficulties here with our overlay. But cars are on the track. I do have control of cameras and I can select drivers. Not going to make for a great show visually, but I'll try to do my best to get this restarted here. We'll go over the grid in a little bit of a different way, shall we? I had it in my mind I was going to throw the driver names up there as I go through them, but Jason Middleton here is going to grab the pole in the 11 car. Cameron Harris is going to come off second place here. He's not on the track quite yet. Lilith Peters is going to start third. Patrick McQuaid will roll off in the 77 Muffler Man machine in fourth. David Lorfano the third is going to start fifth today. Adam Engerstein is going to start ninth in his Toyota. I'm sorry, he's going to start sixth. He's the car number 9. Brian Kaufman in the 01 is going to start 7th. Justin Horton in the 67 is going to start 8th. Chad Snyder in the 9th position in the 26 Ford. Charlie Dickey's going to start top 10 here in the GTech Cleaning Solutions car here. Of course, the race tonight brought to you by GTech Cleaning Solutions, but we'll get to that. Scott Leonard is going to roll off 11th in that 14 machine with Larry Garnes outside him in the 12th. Nathan Christensen in this number 3 Chevy is going to start 13th. David Harris is going to start 14th. Peter Terrio is going to start 15th with Jeremy Flanagan starting 16th. Christian Delgado 17th. Robbie Fletcher 18th. Cole Martin is going to start 19th. Tyrone Yo Jr. in the 2 car going to start 20th. Jim Hubble going to roll off 21st here. Jackson Carr in the 22nd position, that 57 machine. Travis Rodriguez will start 23rd. Johnny May will round out the tail end of the field here in 24th. We'll jump back up front and I will try to get our overlay working again. We're here to show you that this is the GTech 200 round 3. That says Atlanta Motor Speedway. That is not correct. We are at Pocono, as you can probably tell. As I said, major issues with our SDK software. Giving us problems across the board here tonight, not just for myself. So I've got to hide that overlay because it's just stuck showing me the race info. Don't have a ticker here that I can bring up. Does not want to work. As I said, I'll try to work on that throughout the show if I have time to do so. But before we get going here, I want to bring up our sponsor, GTech Cleaning Solutions, cleaners and degreasers, sponsoring tonight's race. This car's lights are off. We are about to get going here. Look at stacked up. Jason Middleton and Cameron Harris are going to take us to the stripe as they will get started for lap number 1 here at Pocono Raceway for the All-American Racing League not the Truck Series, but the Truckers Feed America Cup Series brought to us by Topsail Truckers. They're fighting for second place here. Cameron Harris and Lilith Peters side by side with the rest of the field behind them coming down. Well, not really the back chute here because we've got 3 corners. This being the tricky triangle, as we said, tonight's race takes us to the tricky triangle at Pocono Raceway. And Cliff up in the booth for SRM eSports Broadcasting Network. I'm glad to have you here tonight. We do apologize. I am having some difficulties with SDK, as I was saying, and bringing up the overlays and everything. We're going to do our best here to continue to try to bring up a ticker. Currently, Jason Middleton is leading the way here. Cameron Harris second. Patrick McQuaid, the top 3. And caution is out. On the racetrack. I don't have any idea why. Gonna go ahead and jump to commercial break here. Don't go away, I guess. Stand by.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Well, no avail there with the overlay. Back at the racetrack here, Jason Middleton is leading Cameron Harrison, Patrick McQuaid. We did have a caution come out. I apologize, I do not know why. Guys, we'll go one more time around here. We might as well at least give the sponsors a shout out, as they did help bring you the race tonight. GTech high-powered cleaner and degreaser is an evolutionary cleaning formula approved by the EPA for their Safer Choice program that is suitable for the toughest industrial environments, yet safe enough for day-to-day applications. It's non-flammable, non-corrosive, non-toxic, and environmentally friendly. They got no phosphates in there, NPE, caustics, acids, or petroleum solvents. GTech Cleaning Solutions bringing you the GTech 200 here from Pocono Raceway. The AARL guys, we're ready to put on a show. Unfortunately for us here in the studios, our overlay does not want to play fair, nor does my SDK software. I'm lucky I can choose cameras, I'll say that, but I can't bring you any of the race info, driver information here, or show you the ticker. So we'll keep it running. We'll definitely let you watch the show here. Will be a little bit difficult. I'll try to keep you in tune here as to who's running where, and we'll run through the field quite a bit here. Good news is it's Pocono. We should get some spread out racing here, and it's just going to rely on myself. I do honestly, I don't have a number 2 here in the booth. Normally Emily with me. Unfortunately, she's having problems with her internet. Unfortunately, couldn't join me tonight. A lot of trouble trying to find someone to join me here in the booth, and now with this SDK problem. Doing our best here. Green flag will fly again. 11, Jason Middleton will take off. Patrick McQuaid is going to jump. On the inside here of the 27 of Cameron Harris, teammates there, second and third. Put down turn 2 here. See if we can get this overlay running again. Hey, we got a little bit more of an overlay here now. We've got the ticker showing and race info. See if I can get the race info since we're stuck on the screen here as I try to work through our problems on my end. I do appreciate you for joining us live and sticking through it, thick and thin. Middleton still leading. Patrick McQuaid second. Lilith Peters is going to make a move now for third. Fighting hard though is the 27 Cameron Harris on the outside. It looks like I may have got the ticker working here. Lap 6 of 80. I think we might be in business, ladies and gentlemen. A few laps after the start, but it looks like we're good to go. Shout out to the folks, all 17 of you here watching live and sticking through the early blunders here in the Sim Racing Media Studios. So as Jason Middleton starts to put on a gap on Patrick McQuaid and Cameron Harris, they're just about a half second behind. Willis Peters, David Lorfano is going to round out your top 5 here as the field starts to spread out. As I said, this is Pocono. Got some long straights here, 3 separate corners. Things are a little different as you get around this racetrack. We've been to a lot of large racetracks with long back, front and back stretches, just long overall. This one's no different. 2.5 miler here at Pocono Raceway. It's almost like a super speedway with 3 separate tracks. Your draft isn't going to matter much, not as much as a super speedway though. We went to Atlanta last week, newly paved and re-banked into a super speedway. But yeah, here we go. Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle. Keeping the field their car into the wall. It's the 20 of Larry Garnes. And see if our driver info starts working. It does. So since we're 8 of 80 done, let's jump into the field and see where your favorite driver is running. If you're here to watch your favorite driver, give us a shout out in the chat. I know you Zorku fans are out there. I see some Lilith fans out there. Let's run through the field, see where your driver is running. Jason Middleton currently running in the first spot here. That's where he started the race. But he's got Patrick McQuaid up 2 spots to second here. Running pretty close laps, 54.04 to a 54.07, first and second. So catching up there is Patrick McQuaid. Luke Peters in the 1's going to round out your top 3. Then you're going to have Cameron Harris in the 27 machine running 4th. David Lorfano the 3rd in this 8 machine running top 5. Adam Angerstein is going to round out the 6th spot here in the number 9 Toyota. Justin Horton in the 67's up 1 spot from where he started in 7th, starting to make up some ground. Brian Kaufman in the 01, sitting here in 8th place with Chad Snyder right on his bumper. Not right on his bumper. Running the 26 Ford here in 9th position. Scott Leonard running the 14th car, running the top 10. David Herron in the 15 is going to try to run that bottom side, get underneath the 14. He's running 11th, trying to take the top 10 away from Scott. Peter Terry on the 6 Ford's up 3 spots to 12th. Get a little bit of a draft help there from the 14. Charlie Dickey in the 37 Toyota is going to get passed here, looks like, by Christian Delgado in the 16. Both fighting for the 13th, 14th positions. Jackson Carr in the 57 machines up to 15th. Travis Rodriguez up to 16th. They got Zorku Jeremy Flanagan in the 17 now fighting for that 16th spot. Gonna put Travis back to 17th. Nathan Christensen in the 3-car running 18th. Johnny May in the 00 in 20th. Robbie Fletcher in 21st. Jim Hubble 22nd. Tyrone Yo Jr. back here in 23rd. Cole Martin in the 45 machine. Back off the pace here and behind a lap. Back up front, Jason Middleton continues to put on a clinic here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. We've tried to work through our issues there at the beginning. Thank you for sticking with us. And thank you to the chat. Patrick McQuaid, that's correct. Did just get married recently, so shout out to him. And congratulations to him and his new wife. And thank you to her for letting him be here to race and fight for the lead right here as he's trying to work that bumper at Jason Middleton now that he's caught him. Your top 5 here, top 6, 7, all single file. Everyone getting settled in here. Lap 12 down, 13 as we come across the line here. Just about the whole field. Spread out as the 77 takes a sniff down that bottom line underneath Jason Middleton, looking for that lead. We've seen Patrick McQuaid be fast at just about any racetrack he comes to, but the big racetracks he really does well. He's got a whole number of wins from last season under his belt. And he's just looking to put more under his belt tonight. Let's see if we can get a win here, Pocono. But the 1 car of Lilith Peters, never doubt her. She is up now to 2nd position. She makes that pass look easy on the 77 and McQuaid there. 27 of Cameron Harris in there in 4th, gives a little touch to the 77. Those two are teammates. They're going to try to work together in that draft down the straight. 27 slipping up the racetrack just a little bit. Looks like no one can quite catch the 11 car here, Jason Middleton, as they spread out deeper down in the field. Got some runs here spreading. You're going to see a lot of that, as these straights are very wide, and there's a lot of room there to spread out. And if you get a run, you can kind of try to make a wide pass and then get back up into the corner. You'll see it more than once here tonight. So far, everything pretty much clean and green here. Check in on the 37 car of Charlie Dickey. Sponsor of the race, GTech 200. On the car there of Charlie Dickey here tonight, the 37 machine. Thank them for sponsoring tonight's race. Charlie Dickey in the 37, currently running in the 17th spot. He's got some work to do. Fell back a little bit from where he qualified, but a great looking car here tonight. They get the sponsor. Hopefully, you can get a good finish there for the sponsors. But everyone looking right now up front. Jason Middleton holding off Lilith Peters, currently about a 10th of a second gap right now as they come into turn 3 here at Pocono. We're going to step aside for just a moment. Don't go away. You won't miss any of the action. We will be right back.
Drivers that took time.
Hello.
Yeah, 10-4.
Oh, okay, sweet. Hey, turn the right strand.
Well, having more issues than I thought. Got a little bit of audio issue there. Hopefully get that sorted out. I do apologize for the interruption there. But hopefully you guys can hear me all right, and you can also hear the racing as well. I had to bring the Lilith Peters now currently catching the leader, looking to make a pass here. Lilith Peters trying to, gets into the wall there, trying to look at the top side of the 11. That's not going to help her at all. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Working out some audio issues in the background as you watch this race here. Jason Middleton, Lilith Peters 1-2. Adam Angerstein about a second back from where the leaders are. Trying to work that out. Cameron Harris here running fourth. David Lorfano is going to round out the top five. David Lorfano's looking to the inside here of Cameron Harris in the 27. Going to jump back up behind the 27 car of Cameron Harris. Not going to be able to make that happen. 20 laps in the bag. I apologize. This has been the worst broadcast I've ever put out there. Having all kinds of issues with our ticker, our audio, our help in the booth, and you name it. Anyway, big shout out to GTech Cleaning Solutions for sponsoring tonight's race. I'm going to have to say we're going to have to owe you one for SRM, and your money won't go to waste. We'll get you another one at the end of this. Jason Middleton continues to hold off the entire field. Looked like Lilith Peters was going to give him a run. Looked like the 77 of McQuaid was going to give him a run. I think everybody just really having a clean run here, and caution will come out. Oh, looks like I do have some information this time around now that our SDK is actually working. Jackson Carr. Let's see what happens here. Jackson car involved. The 37 is going to get to the inside of the 57. Let's see if we can come out and get a better look at that. Of course, that's the same exact look. Let's try that one more time here. Back it up just a bit. Looks like the 57 was underneath him there. 37, he didn't get the call from the the spotter. Oh, but yeah, you see the 37 does come down just a bit on the 57. It's going to get him turned around there. The Jackson car involved there. Charlie Dickey as well. That's going to need some damage fixed up here. Jason Middleton leads as he has so far the entire race. Up 21 of 80 down. Looks like we got James in the booth up here with me. James, how you doing? Glad you could join us.
Hey, Cliff. Glad to be here. Glad to be watching some All-American Racing League. Heard you needed number 2, so
well, these guys put on a great show, but tonight has been lackluster on the production side, as you heard and saw in the background going on there. It seemed like the whole world was melting for SRM, but it looks like we got things sorted out. SDK is starting to play well with others now, as just about everybody's going to come down to pit road and get a reset here at lap 22.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching Pocono, the Tricky Triangle, acting like more like the Bermuda here.
Yeah, a few of these drivers having a little bit of issues. You saw the 9 there getting a bit sideways coming out of pit lane. But the 57 of Jackson Carr and Charlie Dickey, they're getting into a little bit of trouble. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet here for, the beginning of this race. Haven't really seen any bump and any grind and a lot of spread out racing, but still nonetheless fast drivers, fast racing. It's Pocono. This is just about what we're gonna get, and we'll see how things start to heat up towards the end. So all these drivers are getting stacked back up, and it looks like Cameron Harris is gonna be scored our leader at the moment. He did pit with everybody else, possibly taking 2 tires here. It's like Harris and Justin Horton about a second faster down pit road was it than everybody else. So I'm assuming 2 tires there.
Yeah, 2-tire stop there based on my calculation. Could be a good strategy play this early, especially if you're expecting it to go this way. A lot of, 3-tire sets here, 4-tire sets?
Of course, you would ask me the one and only bit of information I didn't quite check. I believe 4. I could be wrong.
Let me see. Let me get it up here. That's my part of things. So we're going to have 1 fast repair. Don't see the tire sets either, but that 1 fast repair is definitely going to help you out. They're going to need it as we have the pace lights off. They're going to be coming around here to get started. Lap 23 going to be in the books.
Cameron Harris is going to take us to it. Justin Horton, the front row. Of course, it's the tricky triangle with these long back stretches, so we're all desperately waiting for the pace car to turn hard left. There he goes. Nope, my bad, he didn't. See how excited I am?
I know, right? This really gets you going with the way they do things here at Pocono. That's why it's so tricky.
It just throws us for a loop, and it's a triangle. I mean, we got the 27. He's getting up in front of the pace car. I thought the pace car had pulled off. I thought we were coming down turn 4. I didn't know where we were. But we're just gonna have fun with that.
You know what? Pocono has 6 turns. You can fight me about it. If
I
everywhere
mean,
else has 4.
I might be on board with you on that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna call turn 1 and turn 2 of a regular oval two-turn,
Definitely. At least 5. Maybe count the tunnel turn as 1. That's a little blip.
sure,
But
sure.
speaking of pace car going to tip down, Cameron Harris there in the 67 machine, 27. He's going to take the lead.
Oh, one right behind him though. We're all looking for the 11 here. Is back in 7th. Currently had led every lap of the race so far, but gets shuffled back in the field. We got some action here. Almost 3 wide there with the 11 that we just spoke about. He is working his way up. If he's not careful, he might make some mistakes there. Definitely don't want to be too aggressive. Got plenty of time to make his way back to the front.
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of time to get through, especially as you get into this tunnel turn. You really want to watch out where everybody's carrying speed, because different people attack that so differently. We saw, of course, Denny Hamlin attack that a little bit different with Ross Chastain. But it seems like the 27, Cameron Harris, is just out there in that free air, really not having to worry about anything. He wants to see that battle behind him, Lofano, Middleton. He wants to see those guys battle it out, slow each other down through these straightaways, and kind of get Kaufman off of him a little bit. But it looks like these straightaways are not going to be his friend so far as we hit mid-pack here to Pete Thuralt.
Terrio, my friend, Terrio. Fast
There we
driver, young fast driver. I was going to say Harris is fast. Once he gets that clean air, it's almost hard to hold him back. But Terrio is the same way, and he's got to work his way through the field. We saw him jump almost 3 wide there just for 15th. So don't count them out yet. Some of these guys, some of these top names in this series are kind of towards the back here, and they're really, probably just kind of biding their time and trying to work this one safely. A little bit of strategy maybe, making the last stint to make their moves. Pocono, you got to be careful. It is tricky. Whether it's 3 turns or 6, they are all different, and you got to handle them all a little bit differently. And as you saw, even the broadcasters get confused as to what turn and what straight you're shooting down. So don't take our word for it. Let's check some blimp camera action. I love this shot here as you get a really good indication of what this racetrack actually looks like. It's hard when you're watching on TV there. It's a lot easier, I'm sure, sitting in the stands. But this is not an oval. It's definitely a triangle. It's 3 separate straights, 3 separate corners, all different lengths and various banking. So they call it the tricky triangle for a reason. We're seeing here tonight some of these drivers having a hard time making sense of it, but a handful here really successful. Harris is currently leading, but you had the 11 machine of Jason Middleton, who's only back and forth, working his way back up to the front. We saw him lead the most laps so far. But David Lofano, David Hara, Hillbilly Motorsports 5th, 6th, they're right there. Looking back, though, you got Rodriguez up 15 spots, Johnny May up 13 spots. Terrio's working his way up. Lilith Peters, we saw earlier, I think she took a 4th tire stop, possibly having some trouble in pit lane. Dropped back to 12th here. But we saw her fighting for the lead early, so a lot of these faster drivers are back to the back. Got a long way to go, though.
Definitely, especially here at Pocono. Classified actually as a super speedway, believe it or not. But as you were saying, they do have those 3 separate turns with the different banking. Turn 1, that's your speed, about 14-degree banking. Turn 2, that tunnel turn we first talked about, it's a much shorter apex, I guess longer apex. It's a much more open turn, that's 8%. And then turn 3 is where people are really going to get in trouble here, as we see them going into that 14-degree turn 1. Because turn 3, 6%. And there's 6 degrees banking there. So I will say, do you know the 3 tracks that these turns are modeled after? Because there's 3 famous tracks that the designer really wanted to incorporate here. And I'll give you the easy one. The tunnel turn, Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, chat. So go ahead and let us know in the comments what you think.
Definitely. It is a little bit of trivia for you if you go to your NASCAR beer trivia night that I know every town has. But lap 29 of 80, Cameron Harris kind of stepping out with it. A little bit of a battle below them. It looks like Travis Juggles Rodriguez just got passed by Christian Delgado, trying to make his way up through the field in the 16 machine.
Yeah,
a lot of Chevys up front, though, Cliff.
Top 10 hate is really heating up here. For top 6 are Chevys. You're absolutely right. Only a couple of Toyotas, 3 or 4 Toyotas in the field. But what I love about this series is you actually do have some variety. I've seen countless leagues that just have all Chevys and a Ford in there. We got a whole slew of different cars manufacturers here. We'll go ahead and throw that up there so you can see who's driving for who. But Harris currently running the first spot. We're going to go ahead and jump through the field here as we're just coming to lap 30. You see where your favorite driver is lining up so far as we approach midway. Cameron Harris currently leading. He's got a good gap on Brian Kaufman in the 01, who's up 5 spots from where he started. Top 3 is going to be Jason Middleton in that 11 car. Saw him lead almost all the laps here tonight. Giving some to Harris right now, but he's working his way back towards that top spot. Justin Horton in the 67's up 4 spots in 4th. David Lorfano from Hillbilly Motorsports is going to round out your top 5 with his teammate right behind him. David Hare in the 15 up 8 spots to 6th. Adam Angerstein in the 7th spot in the 9 Toyota. The first non-Chevy here as he's actually getting passed by Lilith Peters in that 1 machine. She's going to grab 8th away. Christian Delgado in the 16 is going to run 9th. He's up 8 spots. Johnny May in that 00's brought that car up to 10th, 14 spots from where he started. Travis Rodriguez in the 79 Toyota up 12 spots. The Toyota's looking good here tonight. He's going to grab 11th. Patrick McQuaid, multi-time winner here this series. 77 machine. He's running 12th. We saw him pushing for the lead early on. Again, dropped back through the field there a little bit. Going to have to work his way back up. 57 machine up 9 spots in 13th. That's Jackson Carr, teammate of that Fast 11. Peter Terrio, we talked about him, a young man, very fast out here. The 6 machine, the 14 car, or sorry, the 6 car in the 14th spot. Chad Snyder's going to round up top 15. That 26 Ford. Nathan Christensen running 16th right now with Zorku. Jeremy Flanagan in that 72 Chevy running 17. He's got some work to do. Scott Leonard, or Leonardo da Vinci Leonard in the 14 machine back in 18th. Jim Hubble 19th. Larry Garnes, the 20 car, running 20th. Robbie Fletcher in the 71 Toyota is running 21st. Cole Martin 22nd. And Tyrone Yo Jr. rounding out the tail of the field here in 23rd. He does have Charlie Dickey in that 37 machine. Multiple laps down there running behind him. We'll jump back up front with our leader, Cameron Harris.
That's Cameron.
Of course, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Cameron Harris. You know, we talked about Patrick McQuaid and Jackson Carr, the two about halfway through there, and of course Cameron Harris leading. Cameron really needs a lead here. The 2 drivers that are leading this series right now in the All-American Racing League are Patrick McQuaid and Jackson Carr. So potentially a really huge points day for these guys far behind, because they do their points a little bit differently. So far, first place gets 185 points plus bonus points. So a lot of points to be spread out here. So if you get the jump on somebody, you can really surpass them. So keep an eye off on what's happening there with the points. For a lot of these folks, it could be make or break.
Yeah, bonus points are huge here in this league. Usually you get 1. These guys are throwing out 5 here, 5 there. They're like Oprah with bonus points. And it really adds up. And a lot of these guys, you're out here leading laps and you're not even really thinking about it. End of the season comes along and you've got all these bonus points, and all of a sudden you got a good gap in front of the guy behind you when it comes to playoffs, where it really matters.
Yeah, and the playoffs, like you said, they don't do, as I'm looking here, of course, learning on the fly. There will be 5 playoff points awarded per win. So, yeah, huge, absolutely huge to come out here and get a bonus point. But up to 20 points up to grab here. Pole, 5 points. If you lead a lap, that's another 5 points. And then most laps led is 10 bonus points. That's akin to a better position. So you really want to get out there in front. It kind of really shakes things up when we're going to see this pit cycle come through as well, because people are going to try and get out there and get some bonus points.
Yeah, this 11 car looking towards the inside of the 27 now. He's made his way back up to the front, running for Hydrocat Motorsports. Fun fact, last race at Atlanta, I guess mainly for you, James, as you don't usually hang out with us here with the AARL guys, but Jackson Carr, Jason Middleton, Justin Horton, Lilith Peters, and Jeremy Flanagan were your top 5 finishers at Atlanta. All on the same team.
Yeah, a good set will get you there for sure, and especially talking. But as we see here, Jason Middleton is absolutely slicing and dicing, trying to get past Cameron Harris. But that's the thing about Pocono. It's not a super speedway. You're not going to get by on the outside. If you can't negotiate that tunnel turn and be on the inside there, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. So to see that kind of demonstrated there, it's just hard to pass right now. Everybody's having their own troubles. I think the only pass right now, Brian Kaufman trying to battle Adam Angerstein, and it's just really tough going here. You see one car almost into the inside wall. So much room for activities.
You're absolutely right on the super speedway thing there. You know, you get to a Daytona or Talladega, even Atlanta these days, and you're just flat out. You don't really have to worry about your tires. But here, as we see, if you're really fighting to try to get that lead and you're really going to make a hard pass, you're going to burn up those tires. So you got to be smart about it. You got to be smooth. And you really got to pick your battles here. You don't want to burn those tires up. Once you do that, you might as well just say bye to the front runners.
Yeah, 100%. And you talk about burning your tires up. Pocono is one of those places where, and we're going to sound like a broken record here, but you cannot get in a groove. Because all these turns are different and it's a 2.5 mile track, it is very hard to get in a groove like in, let's say, a Bristol or Dover, where you're just, hey, all I know is I got to breathe, turn, breathe, turn. No, not at Pocono. So when that comes into play with your tire wear, your tires are going to react differently to turn 3 than turn 1. So you really got to watch out. Once we see these guys kind of floating up into the wall of turn number 3 and turn 1, that's when you really, it's really interesting to watch and see how these drivers are going to adjust.
Got a pass here for the 4th position as Lorfano is going to look towards the top there of the 9. They're going to be side by side coming down the whatever stretch this is. Way down at the bottom of the line is the 9 car of Adam Angerstein trying to hold on to that 4th spot. Lofano wants it. Hera, his teammate, right behind him. They're sitting pretty in 5th and 6th, I think, just kind of biding their time here as we come to about halfway, a couple laps to get there.
A couple laps to go here. Are we getting a stage break at 40?
No stage breaks. We run clean and green most of the time here with AARL, which I really love. You know, I'm not a fan of the stage breaks, but when we do hit halfway, we'll go ahead and jump side by side and give ourselves a quick break, and everyone at home a quick break. We'll pay a couple bills, but we will go side by side. You won't miss any of the action here as we get to halfway. But yeah, no stage breaks here, so no racking them back up. You know, if we stay green here, which I'm knocking on my desk here at home, which I don't really think is real wood, but usually it's pretty clean racing around here. And then usually when I mention that is when someone tags the wall. Low-key hoping for that, but hey, it's Pocono. It's a long, stretched out racetrack. The racing gets stretched out, and you know, we're just riding here right now.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the 11 working on Cameron Harris, finally has the inside, but we've seen him here in this tunnel turn a couple times. He's going to lose the runoff that you get from being able to arc into this turn, and it's almost like a slide job you got to have at the outside of turn 2. As we see, yep, there it is. Oh,
they're going to get together.
Side draft 27 trying to get in. 57 overcorrects. 67. I'm sorry, going around. There's the caution you were talking about, Justin Horton. Wrong place, wrong time as the side draft goes wrong out of the tunnel turn.
We're going to check that out for sure. You kind of caught it there live, which is great. You love to see it. The 67 had a big run because the 27 and 11 there were trying to stay on the racetrack and keep it going the right way. Unfortunately, Horton diving it in there kind of got him the worst of it. Not his fault. Had to do what he had to do, and unfortunately, front runners getting into it, and the 67 here of Horton is going to get the worst of it.
But a little Jason Milson, he made the pass, so he's going to have the advantage coming to yellow. But yeah, that just seemed like, you know, he went up for a side draft, nothing malicious there. That tunnel turn is so hard to judge, and just gets into the rear quarter panel. It sucked him in, and that was that.
Yeah, you saw
and
it.
that's what we've been talking about.
They barely even touched, and that was that. So Horton finds himself back in 19th. We're halfway. We're under caution. We're going to go side by side. Now's the best time. We'll pay a couple bills, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the racket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup.
Back live at the racetrack. Pocono Raceway, that is. Wholesale pit stops came and went as we were under caution for the second time here tonight. Lap 41 of 80 is in the bag. And we will see what we got here for this second half of the race. Jason Middleton has made his way back up to the front. Hera's going to be up 12 spots to the second position. Then we got Brian Kaufman, Patrick McQuaid back in the top 5, and Jackson Carr up 17 spots now to 5th. Looks like a little bit of strategy playing out there as we had some drivers opting to take 2 tires at our first stop. I'm thinking we got some that opted for it this time around. Nonetheless, we got them racked up and stacked up, and as the pace car lights are off, we will have one more time around here in this tricky triangle, and we will be back at it. Green flag will fly for the GTech 200, brought to you by GTech Cleaning Solutions, and of course Topsail Trucking, bringing you the entire series. Shout out to the All-American Racing League for bringing us this great racing and the drivers themselves. We couldn't do that. We couldn't do this without them, and we wouldn't have anything to show you. Thank you, Chet and Race Control, reminding me that is the third caution. That's right. We did have one early on while I was still trying to get my my head out of my you know what, and get all our software to play nicely. But yeah, third caution, lap 42 of 80. We'll get back to it here momentarily as we come out of what I believe is turn 3 or 6 or 4 or turn 2. We're in turn 2. Go ahead and reach up, grab those belts, tug them one more time, grab a quick drink, scuff up those tires a little bit. We're about to go green flag racing yet again here from Pocono Raceway. The All-American Racing League Topsail Truckers Feed America Cup Series, Race 3 from Pocono. Pace car takes a hard left. The 11 a little bit of an inch ahead. The 15 lagging back just a little bit. That's David Hara. Milton's going to shoot out from a cannon. They'll go 3 wide for 4th place here. Spread out just a little bit as they will jump back into single double file there as they get into turn 1. Jackson Carr here, a little aggressive there, getting up to 4th. He wants to catch up to his teammate who's led just about the entire race. Gave it up a little bit there for Cameron Harris. But the 11 car back up front. His teammate trying to work his way back up front to join him. Chad Snyder making a pass here on the 71.
Look who's up there. Patrick McQuaid coming back. He's back up there to 4th after we saw him about mid-pack. Had a blazing fast pit run, and just with all the confusion, good run.
They started 4th, running 4th. Had to do some work to get back there. But doing a great job on, from what I understand, recently married and possibly still on his honeymoon and out here racing. So shout out to the wife for that.
Oof.
Don't look at it that way. Look at it as you married the right woman, right?
Yeah, fantastic woman. Let her come out here and get the race done. And I'm sure she's in the chat supporting him. But yeah, just a really special time to be able to come out here and get it knocked out, and then head back to the festivities. Speaking of chat, guys, shout out your driver. Shout out who you want to see some more of, who you're here for. I personally like to do. I know I'm kind of encroaching on Cliff here, but just let us know you're here, what you're here for. We like to see it.
Gotta be completely honest with you, man. We usually have a chat that's a little more wild than this. There's a little thing that we call Zorku Nation around here. Jeremy Flanagan, I'll bring him up here on the screen. Got his own fan base, Zorku Nation. They show up each and every race and let us know that they are here, as, to use your words. But unfortunately, a little quiet here tonight, so maybe a Zorku convention going on that they're all at. But chat's usually a little louder for the Zorku fans.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? They'll wake up. Come on, Zorko. Cameron Alfred there in it. Of course, Thunder, the race control, he is shouting us out. Triple R, 3R, man, that is a good looking guy there. That's me, by the way, folks. As we get rolling here. The GTech 200. So 200 laps or 200 miles. Oof, that'd have been a mess. Oh, 200 miles. Pocono, lap 45 of 80. And we're seeing kind of more of the same. This is how these races go. It's so hard to pass. And if you were running this, Cliff, where would you be fastest? Where's your time to attack here?
Pit lane.
Ooh, a cerebral victory.
No, I don't like. I think you alluded to it earlier, being able to get into a rhythm. You can't. I certainly can't here. I'll run when I show up at Pocono. I run about 10 laps and I pull it back in, and I'm like, what is with this place? It's just so hard to get into a rhythm and be competitive at all. So for a guy like me who's better on the mic than I am behind the wheel, A place like Pocono, I think I'll keep it at the garage. That's where I'm fastest.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you. Yeah, when Pocono comes around, I just absolutely just kind of get going. You know, get out there, putter around, let them fire it up. As we see right here, the battle between Kaufman and Lorfano, the third. Into the tunnel turn, got to kind of work the side draft here as the 16 slide job. I mean, there it is. You got to get that slide job. Have to have that speed on exit, otherwise they're just going to blow right by you. Pretty much one of the only places you can make a clean turn. As Christian Delgado is going to try and prove me wrong there.
Yeah, Delgado wants to go with him.
It's so hard to get runs here. That is the problem, because it's such a wide track and you really have a lot of leeway on exit if you're that outside car to blow it up so much sooner and just get such a crazy run. Really the only time that's not the case is you can undercut that tunnel.
Delgado, though, he's smart there. He could have followed the 8 in there. He really could have overworked that front right and burnt it up. Instead, he fell back. He realized he wasn't going to make it happen. He's going to cool those tires off and think better of it. So that's a smart move right there. Doesn't need to make that pass quite yet, but I actually say that and I see his gap time a little bit. He makes up a bit on the straights here, but falls a little back behind, or at least in that last corner. Of course, this one's different, so he might handle it a little differently, as it does. So that plays into it too. You know, some of these drivers might be better at some corners than others. So you might see cars fall back and catch back up in certain corners, and it's a wild place out here. It's tricky. I keep saying it, but it really is. So shout out to Jason Middleton for leading this many laps. As well to some of these other guys have been fast so far. We saw 37 of Cameron Harris was very fast early on as well. Taking a look now, see where he is, actually back to 12. So he's dropped back 10 spots from where he started in second. He's got some work to do there. Everyone currently chasing Jason Middleton. Oh, as we see some cars spreading out a bunch there in the large, wide straights that they have here. You know, draft isn't a huge thing, but when you're coming down the straights, they're so long that it really does help a little bit. So it's worth it to dive down and get in behind the car in front of you.
Yeah, long straightaways. As we see somebody coming out of the pits there, I believe that is Robbie Fletcher, going to be about a lap down. And he might be actually doing that. The fuel window, I think, is around 30 laps. I'm not 100% on that. I'm not the fuel guy, but that might be why he's coming in. Some of our guys, I swear, I just know that stuff right off the bat. But definitely something to keep an eye on. And it looked clean. It looked like that was a clean pit. Of course, brought to you by GTech Cleaning Solutions. You can check out some of their stuff at mygtech.com. A lot of their products are really supposed to be green and really tough, so it's got to be clean. It's got to be GTech.
Their biggest thing there is very environmentally friendly. They're huge on that, so that's a big hit point right there. I want to throw out there, you've got 2 producers in the booth right now. Normally we've got our comms with us. Our commentators really do the homework and are a lot smarter when it comes to racing than these producers. You know, click on the cameras and make sure all the action is there in front of you. We really get those bits of knowledge from our commentators, so I really thank all of them. But James and I are producers, and you know, we're better at bringing you the show than having all the facts, and so sometimes we just make them up. So bear with me.
Well, we don't tell them that, but as we get 52, as we get 52 laps down of 80 here at Pocono, no one in the chat figured out the 2 other turns, so I'm gonna knock one out, and then the next person, don't Google it, or you know what, Google it. You can tell me the next turn that this track is based off of. I'll give you a hat. or a t-shirt, one way or the other. We got Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then the Milwaukee Mile is what turn 3 is based off in that 6-degree ranking. So only one more, turn 1. First one in the chat that did that, I'm gonna hit you up for a t-shirt.
I'm not gonna Google it. If I open up one more window, my PC will probably crash. So hopefully someone out in the chat's got it. We'll send you a t-shirt if you got it. Hopefully you're paying attention, because I don't think James is gonna repeat the question. Looking through
definitely not.
looking through midfield here is where the action seems to be. You got Cameron Harris leading this kind of second pack of cars here in that 9 machine. Adam Angerstein, Peter Theriault, Justin Horton behind them. We've seen all 4 of those cars in the top 5 at one point or another. So those guys are working their way towards the front. We are wrecking.
Adam Angerstein.
What happened? I talked about him, and then that's what happened. Let's see what did happen.
Oh, tunnel turn. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of a bounce off the wall.
I think he might have had a little bit of help here, though.
Yeah. So that's the 9. So this is kind of... You watch hockey.
Yes, sir.
When you check somebody into the boards, who takes most of that hit?
If you do it right, them. If you do it wrong, you yourself.
Yeah, so it looks like that's what happened. Bumped into that safer barrier on the outside. I'm just unable to hold it down low in the tunnel turn. And most of that momentum sent him around. So very unfortunate there for Adam. Luckily, it doesn't look like that number 9 Toyota is too damaged, so he should be able to come back here.
I'll tell you what we're
Worst
gonna do.
case, he's got a fast repair.
Yeah, we finally got the we got shit. Oh, excuse me. Now we're gonna get.
That's 2 for 3. You might as well round
We're gonna
them out.
grab Mr. Cameron Harris here, 27 Chevy. Cameron, it's Cliff and James in the booth. You got us? Somebody would be able to talk to us. I think he's checking his drawers right now. Mr. Harris, it's Cliff and James in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, wild right there. Almost got into trouble. Take us through that if you don't mind.
Yeah, the car's just tight, man. Pushed up and I hit the wall. Took out of it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Get it fixed and get back out there. Try it again.
All right, we coming up pit road. I'll send you back. Not to bother you now. I always pull people in at the wrong time.
That was a perfect time.
Try not to do it, but you heard from Cameron Harris there. I think he's gonna have to get a new set of drawers there. That was too close for comfort for that 27 machine.
Oh, as he overshoots the pit box. Cliff, that one's on you.
That's my fault. Absolutely. He's going to lose the chance. It's all going to come down to that moment right there. He won't make the championship by like 1 point, and it'll come down to that right there. You can blame it on me, my man. Let's take another look, though, while we got a few seconds here. What I was talking about. 27's got the 9 encroaching real tight. Gets a big run and catches that back corner of him. And unfortunately for Cameron Harris, he didn't get the worst part of that. The 9 did. Harris will hopefully get that fixed up and be back out here contending. 26 to go here at the Pocono Tricky Triangle. We got a little ways to go, but this action is winding down, so don't go away. We're going to jump side by side, take a last break of the night. When we come back, we'll go to whatever flag brings us next. Hopefully the checker. We'll go.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point.
Just 25 laps to go as we get a view here from our Goodyear blimp. Take a look here at the front row. Jason Middleton, David Hara, and they've got Christian Delgado's up 14 spots here in that 16 Ford. The only Ford here in the top 7. He's got some work to do to represent for the Ford Motor Company. Jackson Carr, David Lorfano going to round out your top 5. Patrick McQuaid, they're sitting in 6th. Looking to push his way into that top 5. Great opportunity right here as the caution will come out for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, you know who's really enjoying that caution? Everyone there in that inside line. It's going to be absolutely huge for them to be able to have the advantage to start out in that first turn where you really want to be. So keep an eye on that, and who in about that 3rd row is going to make some big advancements here.
Flagman's going to go ahead and grab that green flag, and he is about to swing it down and fly it. Pace car will pull off. David Hara, Jason Middleton. Middleton gets another great run. He really's got those starts timed out really well. Of course, being the leader helps. You do get that jump. Delgado, Lorfano going to chase the top 2 down. They'll spread out just a little bit up front, but they are side by side just about the rest of the field through. This is where you're going to see some side by side and even 3-wide action deeper in the field here as these good drivers really see this as a great opportunity to get any real quick passes in before your tires start to wear down and before we get spread out. And as James keeps alluding to, it's just so hard to pass here. You got to get all you can while you can.
You'd think it'd be something different, right? You'd think you'd be able to, but these next-gen cars just don't have, when it evens the field on the short tracks or anything else, it really makes racing better. But and I'm not a hater of the next-gen. I like what they're doing. But when it evens the field here at Pocono, it just makes it that much harder to get where you can show your skill. And these guys and gals absolutely doing a fantastic job getting to where they need to be, making those passes in turn 1 and in the tunnel turn. That I really like it. I really like what they're doing. We do have a winner. We did have somebody answer. Ethan Combs entered Trenton Speedway. That is correct.
Mick Combs.
Mick Combs, that's right. Hit us up on our Facebook page. I did link that as whoa. They're getting close there, Cliff.
Yeah, the action is heating up here. So we've got, well, almost 20 to go here. And, you know, I said it earlier that these drivers are getting all they can while they can. We saw the 8 of Lorfano and Justin Horton. They're side by side still battling it out here for 5th and 6th. And the top 4 are starting to slowly pull away as that's happening behind them. That's another thing we haven't really talked about here is you're battling side by side. Those single filers, they can run faster. They don't have to worry about a car next to them, inside, outside. They can really be smooth, run their line. That makes you faster. They start to pull away. So you see everybody jumping in single file, but it's for the best for everybody if you can get single file and race the racetrack kind of instead of everybody else, and then make those passes when you need to.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a matter of when they're straightened up, when they're behind you, they're racing, they're worried about each other, they're not running like you said. They also have that air on that huge rear spoiler literally slowing them down. They're not capable of running as fast as those cars are in line on that big one back straightaway. So it definitely helps them out there. And they love to see that in the rearview mirror if you're a leader.
For sure. 20 to go now as we pass the line. Middleton continues to lead here. Just over 0.3 of a second gap. The top 4 single file. Then you've got a gap back from the leaders, about a second, a little over a second to Lorfano in the 8 car. And they are really battling out here. This is the pack to watch. as the top 5 cars really single file, not really racing it out too much. They know that they've got 20 in the, still to go here, but some of these cars here in 5th on back, they got some work to do to make their way up to the front if they want a chance at this podium. And it's showing. They're really putting on the go pedal down here. The 6th Ontario now making some aggressive moves on the 57 Jackson car, coming down the straight here, trying to get all he can while he can. 20 laps to go.
Yeah, you might as well, especially here at Pocono. You don't know what's guaranteed. You kind of want to get out there, save as much as you can in tires, but you got to move through the field, right? And you're not going to get those huge bits of momentum as we're on Jason Middleton, who has been running a pretty quick race. But looking at lap times, it looks like there are some people trying to catch him.
Yeah, he's got the, I'm looking through here quickly, he does have the best lap of the race, but it's only 1/100th of a second better than Patrick McQuaid at 57. So we've got some other fast guys, Brian Kaufman, who's running some really fast laps that equal the leader here, are very close too. So he doesn't necessarily have the fastest car, but he's showing a lot of skill and being able to maintain throughout this entire race. I think that's key. You can be fast through one stint and then just be garbage the rest of the race, or you can be garbage the entire race like yourself, or you can be like Middleton and really be able to be consistent the entire race, especially at a place this tricky. Keep saying it, but Middleton's really showing us how to get it done throughout an entire 200 mile race. But he's doing great.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Middleton putting on the clinic. David Harris worked his way up to 2nd. He's up 12 spots from where he started. Delgado's the only one out here. I correct myself. Jackson Carr is actually at 14 spots. He's the hardest charger so far. But Harris being up 12 spots to grab 2nd right now. A lot of practice has gone into this car, this 15 machine. They were at practice earlier before the session officially opened, and an AARL practice session yesterday. So Harris knows the importance of practice, and it's showing how much it's worth as he puts that 50 machine up to 2nd place. Brian Kaufman currently running 3rd right behind him. Possibly going to put on a try there for turn 3. He falls back a little bit and actually is going to let Christian Delgado now get up to his bumper. He's up 13 spots as well. Another hard charger there. So Hera Delgado and Jackson Carr, along with Travis Rodriguez, will be the hard chargers currently of the race. Rodriguez is up 12 spots from where he started. Get that Toyota up to 11. As this pack right here is heating up as well.
Yeah, well, like we said earlier, the Chevys are kind of taking it, but some hard chargers really pushing through there. As Brian Kaufman and David Hera are absolutely battling right now. David on the top side, Brian on the bottom. See how Brian reacts here as he's gonna squeeze. That is a lot of trust leaning out on the 11. 16, there we go.
Yeah, I didn't want to just blurt it out because I didn't want to be wrong in correcting you. That's always terrible. But yeah, it looks like there's the 16 Delgado battling there with the 15 and the 01. And they are really battling it out. I don't want to say first place is out of reach for some of these guys, but when you're getting down to the end here and you're in 4th and you're in 4th or 5th, you really just you're gonna give it all you can just to get on the podium at this point, and that can be that can take its toll on you. You don't want to let it get to you. You just want to continue to drive hard and just hope for the best, and hopefully the best will become a podium. But that's why you see this race right here for what is really the 3rd position. Delgado trying to hold on to it. Or actually, Delgado's now currently trying to take away 2nd from the 15. But this is for a podium right here. And as much as a win is huge. It's a little. It's almost out of reach at this point. 15 to go at Pocono. You got some older tires now. You want to just bring it home on the podium and bring your team a decent finish. But those bonus points in the end are really what matters. And I don't think there's any bonus points, unfortunately, for finishing second or third. But at least you'll get to hear from them as we will grab our top 3 drivers when this one's over and get a little bit of the perspective from their views and see if they've got anything to say. Stay tuned for that.
But you know, it's interesting you say that. You'd have told that to Alex Bowman last year as Kyle Busch passed him with 4 to go. I think we'd find out, hey, something can happen on that last lap, as Larson famously lost his front left tire on the final lap. I believe it was going to be a 7 wins, but Bowman able to get up there. So you never know with these things, especially with almost going 3 wide here out of turn 1. Yeah, you never know when these guys could do it, especially with a little bit of a caution. Of course, Jason does not want to see that fastest car. He wants to keep it up there.
Yeah, Jason Middleton here is, he's looking out his rear. And got a decent gap. He's hoping that those guys back behind him just continue to battle it out, and he can just continue to have a nice smooth finish here with 14 to go. But with things heating up this much behind him, I'd be a little bit worried. I'm sure his spotter's a little bit worried. These guys are fighting hard, and when you start to fight this hard, you start to get faster, especially if you work together, and they could catch him. Like you said, anything could happen, especially at a racetrack this long. And you've got a lot of long straights that you have some time to catch up to one another, and if something were to happen, you got some room there to get around the wreckage if there were any. And hey, don't count any of these drivers out to the end, am I right? 77 here making a pass on the inside of Lofano. We haven't we were talking about him earlier, haven't seen him make his way back up to the top 5 yet. But here he is with 13 to go, making his way, or trying to battle now, fight his way up past the 01 there to grab that 5th spot. And second place battle now heating up as well. The 15 and the 16 continue to go back and forth here, trying to decide who's going to possibly make a chase down at the leader here of Jason Middleton. Definitely has the most laps led here tonight, and we'll go home with at least 10 bonus points. 72 car Flanagan having some trouble as he was down into the infield here. Looks like that car's got some damage. See if we can jump back a little bit further to see what happened to this car. Yeah, it's hard to tell if that car has any damage right now, or if, yeah, it definitely does. Looks like he might have got into the wall somewhere along the line there. For Zorku fans, gonna have to settle with the lackluster finish here at Pocono. Patrick Cat saw some really good performance last week, finishing top 5. Their entire team there. But Jason Middleton, the car to beat here tonight. 11 laps to go. The 11 is leading Christian Delgado about 2.2 seconds back, leading the rest of the pack. Patrick McQuaid has made his way to the top 3. I swear this guy just loves to interview at the end of races. He's got to get a podium. Does everything he can. David Lorfano in the 4th position, right behind that 77. Don't count him or his teammate David Hara out. 4th and 5th, rounding out the top 5 here, as those cars are fast. Hillbilly Motorsports, they know how to get it done. We may not be able to catch this Jason Middleton character, but they could fight for a podium spot. We see this fight for just second is within less than 100th or less than 1/10 of a second here.
And definitely here, of course, this is the GTech 200 and some clean moves being put down for second, and the first place car just wants to get gone. But watch it as these tires deteriorate. We still got 10 laps to go. That's 10 minutes of racing, and these tires are going to deteriorate. That inside line's not going to hold up as well as it has been, and it's going to become harder to hold down those passes. That's what I was talking about earlier. You're going to have to get a slide job in there. Make sure you're clear up front. Oh, as we see the 77 get a little bit bent out of shape there.
Definitely a little bit of contact there with the 8 and the 7. They go 3 wide right behind him, and we're just, I was about to say is, the 15's going to go around. The 67 turns him. Justin Horton had nowhere to go there and is going to turn David Harrer right around. Caution will come out. And I was just talking about how the racing is going to pick up, and you're going to see a lot more side by side. You got, like you said, tires are starting to wear out. There's close racing here, fighting for a podium finish, and that's, unfortunately, that's really what the outcome is. Let me see if I can go back and find a replay of that. Of course, I hate doing it this way. I do apologize for that. You see a gaggle of cars here. The 15 gets a little out of shape and has to straighten it out. The 67 was there. I'm not going to take race control's job, but it looks like a little bit of a racing deal right there. Not much that any of them could have done any differently. What do you think, James?
Yeah, most of the time here, what you're doing, you're just a long way.
77's down pit road here.
Looks like race control is going to give that to, I believe it was the 01 for the dive bomb. I'm not sure. It might have been, there it was, the 01. Brian Kaufman, I think, is going to take that one because they were slowing down ahead of him and through the tunnel turn, and he just had a run, tried to make it down, and that's what set off the chain of events. But if you see something like that, if you can make it stick, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't really hate the call.
Yeah, 10-4. We got Jeremy Flanagan here coming out of the infield car center. Jeremy, Zorku Nation representing. How you feeling, man? What happened out there?
With me, what happened there, I don't know how it didn't cause the yellow, but I guess it's because I got it going in time. Peter just lost in front of me a little bit. I wasn't able to react in the right way, and he collected me. I collected the wall, and I was able to at least limp the car around, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get back on the track.
Yeah, it looked like a good amount of damage there as that car was driving sideways as you were able to get it off the racetrack and bring it down. We didn't catch it on camera, but we saw you getting it off, and great job avoiding making that any worse. But unfortunate night. Hopefully we get to talk to you in better circumstances next week.
That, and hopefully you'll be able to talk to some of my team tonight too.
I'm sorry. I'm sure Kaiju Cat Motorsports is going to be up in the top 3, man. We'll send you back. Hopefully everything's well, and we'll see if we can get you back on the racetrack. 7 laps to go. We'll have to see. That is Zorku there. Unfortunate for him. Losing it on his own. Talked about Peter getting loose in front of him and got to the wall there. Looks like Patrick McQuaid is going to be scored our leader now as everyone comes in and out of pit road. We saw Patrick McQuaid pit 1 lap earlier. So that might work out in his to his advantage there. That might have been the move of the race right there.
Gonna be interesting how that's gonna score. I mean, if he was, let me check, because I don't think how he was able to come down pit road immediately. Because that was directly after the caution there. So that's gonna be an interesting step, because lottie-dottie, everybody came down lap 73, as I think I'm seeing. Yeah, Patrick McQuaid is going to get a black flag for that. He is dropping back.
Yeah, 10-4.
Kind of a who was that this weekend at Indianapolis Road Course that sent it through the NASCAR safety lane. It's kind of what that move reminded me of, but Patrick unable to make that work. He's going to be heading to the back.
Well, that's going to give Lilith Peters in the one car the first spot there. She'll get lane choice and she'll get to hold her finger on that trigger, which is it's gonna be detrimental to 11. I think Jason Middleton, or actually I think Jason Middleton might be scored the leader here. I could be talking out of turn here. We'll see. But the leader gets to go. They get choice when to go, and we've seen the 11 really get a jump, and I think it's a lot due to the fact that the 11 gets to control the start. So we'll see if Lilith Peters here can time that really well and maybe get a jump here to get that one car into some clean air and take the race away from Jason Middleton.
Yeah, also of note, Lilith only took right side tires. So she's going to have a little bit of a different setup than she's used to. But I have seen where if you take those rights only, at least for a couple laps, you really notice an incredible amount of turn in that you can really kind of slide the car exactly where you want it to be. So we'll see what's going to happen there, if that's going to help or hurt. Next one with 2 tires back is going to be Scott Leonardo da Vinci. They're at 6, so keep an eye on those guys. Everybody else, Jason and Christian took 4. Adam and Travis took 2 as well.
Yeah, a lot of strategy here at the end of this race. We got 6 to go. It'll be 5 left when we get to the line. And 5 at Pocono. You're gonna have 2 really to get settled in, and then a couple left to make some moves, and then you're gonna have that last lap where no holds barred. Hopefully everything goes well for you. But this is it right here. It's gonna come down to this. We do have green white checkers if we need them. If we won't need them, looks like Peters will get the jump. Gonna leave that 11 in her dust, but as they get to turn 1, let's see. Looks like Snyder's gonna have some problems here getting going. That's gonna cause the caution to come back out. Looks like he might have a flat there. He's gonna have to tow. And we'll go yellow flag again, and that might bring us to 3 to go when we're ready.
It looks like it's going to be a natural green-white checkered, or a green-white checkered, I suppose. But Cliff, it's been awesome, man. I gotta run over. I gotta make it to Lucas Oil Speedway.
Yeah.
And let me see. It's gonna be quite a hard ride to get there.
We'll get on that helicopter. We got it out back waiting for you. That'll bring you right over there. I do appreciate you jumping in the booth. It makes it a lot easier and a much better show for the folks at home. I'm sure they appreciate it. Thank you again. Good luck in your show. If you guys want to catch James, obviously keep it right here on ESBN. And we've got all kinds of shows going on tonight. So check that out after this one.
See you later, folks.
So we got 4 to go here at the racetrack, Pocono Raceway. It's been a pretty eventful night, actually, for Pocono. We've had a few cautions here, and a good amount of racing towards the front. We're going to get to 3, green, as James called it, the green checkered. Hopefully bring us to the end. We'll see if Lilith Peters can hold off Jason Middleton, who's been super fast all night. Christian Delgado also real fast. Travis Rodriguez, Scott Leonard now looking to break up into the top 5. Jackson Carr in that 57 machine, who has also been fast all night. Another Kaiju Cat Motorsports car. We know he's fast. We saw them finish top 5 altogether last race at Atlanta. See if he can make his way up front. These next 3 laps, as when we get to it, are gonna be pretty wild. Do not turn away. This is going to be a great final few laps here. Take us to the end of the GTech 200. The field is all stacked up 2x2 here behind the pace car. Lights are out. We'll go green flag racing next time by. Whole lot of ones in the top position here. Number 1 inside, number 11 outside, all fighting for that top podium spot. Middleton, Peters, Delgado are top 3. Angerstein, Leonard, and Rodriguez through 6th. Jackson Carr, Justin Horton, Cameron Harris, and David Lorfano are top 10. Stay tuned. 3 to go. Let's see if these guys can bring it home. Let's see which ones we'll get to talk to here at the end of the race. We'll talk to our top 3 finishers. Last chance to give us a shout out in the booth. Wildman EG giving a shout out for Lilith. Let us know who you got. 3 laps left here at Pocono, 2.5 miles each. Pace car will take the hard left off. We get a long straight here. Green flag will fly. The 1 gets a big run. The 11 not so good. Looks like the 16 will get into the back of him just a little bit. They're going to have to hold on to it. Let's see if Lilith Peters can hang on to it into turn 1. There's the 16 and the 11 right behind her. Will battle for second place. Lilith Peters will look to break that wake and that draft behind her. She'll go way down to the bottom of the racetrack and then jump back up, getting into turn 2. With 2 laps left, folks. Jason Middleton chasing down the 1 now. The 1's got real clean air now on that nose. You see how important it is. She's able to hold off the 11 and break that. She's jumping down to the bottom of the racetrack when she gets to the straights to try to break the draft and the wake behind her car so that the 11 can't take advantage of that draft there. As we see possible pass here for 3rd. Adam Angerstein going to put on the pressure of the 16 and Christian Delgado. White flag is out. Peters, Middleton, Angerstein as the 9 car tries to finish that pass on the 16. Can he get it done? The 1 car of Lilith Peters going to weave down to the bottom and top one more time to make or try to break that draft. Delgado, Angerstein behind them fighting for 3rd and 4th. Justin Horton rounding out our top 5. Oh, right behind them, a couple cars into the wall. That's the 79 of Travis Rodriguez. He keeps it going. The 8 car right outside of him. Lilith Peters has got Jason Middleton in the mirror. Middleton led most of the laps here tonight, but Lilith Peters is going to come across the line and take the checkered flag for the GTech 200. Jason Middleton will grab 2nd, and Christian Delgado is going to take 3rd. They will wreck behind them. And a whole bunch of cars in a big old wreck behind them as everyone else comes across the line. Not exactly sure what happened there, but we'll take it up front and bring it back to Lilith Peters, who's going to grab a win here tonight at Pocono Raceway. She'll burn it down. We'll get a word with her and our other 2 podium finishers, Middleton and Delgado. So stay tuned. Don't go away. Man, we got Christian Delgado. Christian, Cliff in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
Christian, P3 here tonight. Pretty wild finish there. We didn't get a chance to talk about you much throughout the race, kind of low key, and then here you are finishing third, 14 spots up from where you started, man. Take us through your race.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to this race, to be honest. You know, I did some practice, and if you ask anybody, when you ask the winner, you ask Jason in second, the car was just super tight, and it was just super hard to get it around these corners. So, but as I ran this car and traffic and stuff, I kind of picked up on what the faster guys were doing, and kind of did that, and then, you know, I just started slowly working my way back up to the field. I mean, and then we just had I had that good battle for third with Adam. Luckily, he didn't, you know, wreck me for it, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I think the last 3 laps there were kind of, not to put the rest of the race down, but those 3 combined were more exciting than the entire race. It got pretty wild there at the end. Congrats on the P3. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we go ahead and send you back to celebrate?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Chad Snyder giving me a chance to run full time in the Cup Series. I'd like to thank Track Racer for being on the car, Butt Kicker for being on the car, and then thank you for all the people over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13 supporting my hunger to come out and get some good finishes. Also want to shout out the Beam team, shout out the Lilith for winning, and then shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. You guys do such a good job, so appreciate you guys doing that for us.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate that. We wouldn't have anything to show if it wasn't for you guys coming out here and racing hard week in, week out. So we appreciate you just the same. Congrats again. We'll go ahead and send you back, and hopefully we get to talk to you again.
Yep, thanks a lot, guys.
That's Christian Delgado scoring a P2 here tonight. Big finish for him. We'll grab Jason Middleton here, our second place finisher. Jason, Cliff in the booth, you got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, awesome race here tonight. Pretty much the fastest car, the one to beat tonight. Unfortunately, didn't come home with the top spot, but you got to be proud of the run here today. Take us through your race.
Yeah, I started off, I wasn't too confident in my quality lap, but it got me where I wanted to be, which was pole. Started off, had to learn how to tire save at the track because I haven't had nearly enough practice here. And then just ran out all the runs as long as I could and got pretty lucky with cautions. And about midway through the race there, I drank a bottle of water under caution. And about 20 to go, it hit me like a freight train. I had to use the bathroom so bad, dude, I couldn't think. I think it's the worst that I've ever felt having to use the bathroom.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it got me really good. But Lilith had that 2-tire stop. If we wouldn't have had that caution right there at the end, I would have had it because once our tires would have gotten up to heat, mine would have been faster.
Yeah, you did a really good job at working those tires all night here tonight. You put on a clinic. Definitely got the most laps led, so some real nice bonus points heading into the end of the season. We don't really have to worry about that yet, but that does help. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we send you back?
Just the sponsors. I want to thank Jeremy for bringing me onto the team and stuff. All of his sponsors that he has. I don't really know them, so unfortunately, I can't. It's hard to memorize that type of stuff for me. But they know who they are. So yeah, I want to thank SkyPoint, my buddy Tom. He sponsors us as well. He's a good friend of ours. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, very good,
yeah,
man.
and Jackson for trying to make me laugh under caution and under race so that I would screw up.
You got to get an edge somewhere, right? Jackson finishes 6th here tonight, so he did all right himself.
Smoked. He got smoked.
Nice. All right, well, we'll send you back to celebrate, Jason. Enjoy, and hopefully we get to talk to you again.
All right. Well, thank you for broadcasting, man.
Hell yeah. So that's Jason Middleton, and hopefully we can get Lilith Peters in here. Let's see if I can find Lilith, Cliff in the booth. You got me?
Hi, Clifford.
How are you?
Pretty good after that.
Yeah, we didn't. I'm not gonna put it down. Don't take this the wrong way. I didn't expect to see you up here. And there you were when it mattered. What did it take to get your car there?
I was really fast, but when I was trying to push my teammate Jason early on in the race, I hit that wall, and all you have to do is hit that wall a little bit, and your car is screwed. So I saved the fast repair for the end there, and I got my speed back.
There you go. So that strategy played out very well for you. Put you in the top spot when it mattered. My question for you: last season, I believe you ran a limited schedule. Are you running for a championship here this season?
I am, yes, sir.
All right. Well, I wish you all the luck. Hopefully, we get to talk to you more throughout the season. And congrats tonight on the win. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Of course, I'd like to thank Jeremy for putting me in Kaiju Cat Motorsports and the sponsor on this Chevy, which is Luna Steak Sauce. You can get that at foxfirefoods.com. Very glad they're supporting me throughout the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd also like to thank the Bean team and you guys for putting on the broadcast, of course.
Oh, we appreciate that, of course. Hopefully, we get to talk to you more throughout the season. And congrats again tonight. Put that one car in the top spot. And hopefully, we get to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lilith Peters, our winner here tonight. Really fast last season. Handful of, if I remember correctly, handful of wins, but wasn't running a full season and did not compete for a championship. I'd put money down. You're gonna see Lilith Peters in victory lane more than once before this season is over. So let's go ahead and bring up our race results from tonight's race. Our GTech 200, brought to you by GTech Cleaning Solutions. So we just heard from Lilith Peters crossing the line first with Kaiju Cat Motorsports. That's 2 wins in a row for that team. Jason Middleton's going to come across the line in second here tonight for Sky Point Racing. Christian Delgado in the 16 rolls across third. Adam Angerstein is going to grab the 4th spot with Justin Horton running out the top 5. Jackson Carr in that 57 machine is going to finish 6th with Travis Rodriguez finishing 7th. David Lorfano III is going to finish 8th. Patrick McQuaid finishes 9th. Cameron Harris 10th. Peter Terrio 11th. Nathan Christensen in that 3 machine is going to finish 12th. David Harris is going to finish 13th. Jim Hubble 14th. Larry Garnes in the 20 machine rolls across the line in 15th. Scott Leonard in the 14 machine finishes 16th. Tyrone Yohe Jr. 17th. Chad Snyder in 18th. Brian Kaufman 19th. Zorku Jeremy Flanagan rolls across in 20th. Cole Martin 21st. Robbie Fletcher 22nd. Johnny May 23rd. Charlie Dickey's going to finish 24th here tonight and round out the field. So that'll do it for us tonight at Sim Racing Media in the eSports Broadcasting Network. We thank you all for joining and watching through to the end. Truly appreciate you hanging in there for the beginning when up was down and left was right and the whole world was on fire. Got through it all, had James join us in the booth for a little bit there, and really appreciate his help and everybody else at home for watching. So for everybody at SRM and all the drivers here tonight, we thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notifications. All that good stuff. Join us next week. Same channel, same time. Appreciate you. Have a good night.